Practically everyone knows about the tithe. The tithe meant that 1/10 of the person's income belonged to the church. It was, in effect, a payment due, a thanksgiving. More than a few are reported to have used the tithe and to have become highly prosperous doing so. Paying debts is one of the primary requisites of becoming prosperous. Some may think they could achieve prosperity by never paying anyone. This is contrary to the law and simply will not work. Something for nothing is always nothing. You must either pay as you go or pay later with interest compounded. Jesus warned about paying debts when he counseled to pay any you owe, lest ye be cast into prison, and shall not come out until you have paid the last farthing. Debts are a prison. Get more than you can handle, and you will learn that the great teacher was exactly right. The best practice for prosperity is to pay your debts before they are due, insofar as it is possible, and so keep them out of your consciousness. There is a distinct difference between the tithe and seed money. The tithe is a gift after you have made the income. Seed money is a gift in order to claim a tenfold return. Seed money applies the law directly, and therefore much more effectively. In utilizing the seed money principle, you are saying, in effect, here's the seed I plant. Here's the investment I make with the infinite. Here's the money with which I bless my fellow beings. I claim my tenfold return. I am drawing on my ultimate account with the infinite. Why tenfold and not 11-fold or 20-fold or 30-fold or millionfold? Simply because the number 10 is the easiest of all to multiply by. You merely add a 0 to the figure with which you start. The 0 is symbolical, meaning it is nothing to the infinite to send you your multiplied return, that to the infinite it is less than the air you breathe. The full figure of your return, however, is and must be important to you, important enough to call forth from you a full-hearted thankfulness as well as the necessary mental work. Gratitude is an open door to abundance. It helps to shorten the time required for your demonstration. Chemists tell us that for each 10 degrees increase in temperature, the speed of a chemical reaction doubles. So add the warmth of thankfulness, of gratitude to your seed money formula all along the line. Why not a millionfold? Because you must be able to conceive yourself as having the amount you claim. In fact, you must imagine you already have it. Let us say we give $50 in accordance with the law of seed money and lay our claim on the infinite for $50 million in return. Then we begin to wonder where all that money is coming from. We begin to doubt. The doubt shuts off our return, creates a block. It will be the doubt we demonstrate. So the proper method is to start the process giving, planting no more than you can conceive yourself as having the tenfold return of, and then lay positive claim to that. You may be told by someone that laying claim to a specific amount limits you. This is not the law. Claiming a specific amount makes the demonstration both easier and more rapid. Actually, you do not limit yourself by making a claim for a specific amount, because you can apply and reapply the principle an endless number of times, either in succession or concurrently. Do not pay the slightest attention to where your return is coming from. That is neither your work nor your responsibility. The infinite takes care of both the means and the manner. Your work is to claim the tenfold return of your gift and to leave all constructive ways open for it to reach you. Seed money return is expected money return. The means by which it comes to you and the manner in which it comes to you may be unexpected, more than likely will be unexpected, but the return itself is expected. The repetition is both for emphasis and to help clarify the operation in your mind. How long will it take? There is no time in the infinite. Time is a human concept. Do your work faithfully and go happily about your normal business. As certainly as the day will dawn on the morrow, your efforts will be rewarded. One of the best ways to attain proficiency in the operation of the law is to repeat the daily affirmation, which closes this booklet, many times a day for many days until you have thoroughly convinced yourself who you are and what your proper role in the universe is. Do this, and the law will work for you promptly and in full measure. There is also an after-the-fact technique that invariably helps to shorten the time required for demonstrations. It aids in registering the pattern clearly in your consciousness. Imagine you have the return in hand. That much you must do. Then, to add the mental picture of exactly what you are going to do with the money. If you intend spending it, see yourself buying, choosing exactly what you want. Also, see yourself as wearing or carrying it out of the store after you have seen yourself paying for it. Go through the details of the transaction several times. What you said, what the salesperson said, the store or stores in which you are going to make the purchase or purchases. Put in all the details. Or it may be you are going to put the seed money return in your bank. Then see yourself going into the bank, making out a deposit slip, carrying it and the money over to the teller's window and speaking to the teller, giving him the money and the slip and getting your receipt back. Imagine what the teller says to you and hear him saying it. Also, imagine yourself sending another check to your church or to your favorite social service organization as the next step in utilizing this unlimited and ever-new source of wealth. The law is there for you to use just as the fresh, wonderful air in the earth's atmosphere is there for you to breathe. Would you choose to spend your life without fresh air? In a smoke-filled room or in an area constantly saturated with smog? Such conditions take their toll in life and health for those who choose them or permit themselves to live in such surroundings. Similarly, those who are ignorant of the law of seed money and of how it works suffer with unfulfilled needs, suffer from the lack of many of the desirable things of life, which in our day require money to buy. Human needs are greater today than they have ever been. The cost of living, at or near a record high, continues to mount. Rents are the highest ever and are still increasing. Food and clothing were never costlier. Today, all children, to be able to compete with their own generation, must have a college education. Wage and salary increases do not solve the problem. Other and greater sources of money income are needed. The saying that the rich get richer was never truer, or that the poor get poorer. The reasons for both are fundamental. Most of the rich are daily applying the law, although they may not be aware of it. They have a surplus above their living needs, which makes it unnecessary to pay any more than casual attention to those needs. So they do not multiply needs in their consciousness. They live surrounded by riches and the evidence of riches, and with riches filling their consciousness, they attract more and greater riches continually to themselves. The law always works. The direction in which it works depends solely upon the contents of the individual's consciousness. The poor are constantly thinking about what they need and forever talking about it. The universal law of life is that upon which you focus your attention always comes into your life and experience. The individual's only salvation is to get himself out of the vicious circle of need and poverty, to stop focusing on them and instead focus on receiving, having, sharing, and giving. A man I know by the name of Sheldon found a way out. This man had many ups and downs. He was twice a millionaire, both times when $1 million was a lot of money. Some months ago, Sheldon's business failed. The immediate cause was a bad credit loss. Yet he knew there was a deeper cause. I suggested to Sheldon the John D. Rockefeller technique of giving. When he answered that he has given not thousands, but hundreds of thousands of dollars away, I knew he spoke the truth. Sheldon has never been known to refuse a request for help. I explained to him that although giving was necessary, just giving was not enough, that one could easily go bankrupt giving without return. He listened for an hour as I outlined the principle of seed money to him. Sheldon asked, "With what do I start? I'm flat broke." Actually, he had $3 in his pocket. On my advice, he exchanged his $3 for 300 new pennies and started giving them out one at a time. I received the first one. Each time he gave a penny, he would multiply it in his consciousness and see the multiplied return as having been made to him. The same evening, before he had given out all his pennies, a long-forgotten creditor came to his home and paid him $12 on an old bill. On my advice, Sheldon went again to the bank and this time brought back 200 new nickels. Again, he started giving them away one at a time, each time following the seed money technique. Within 3 days, he was called in as a consultant on a marketing problem and received $250 for a half-day's work. Still working the seed money formula, this time he started with $100 of new quarters. While he was busy giving these out and multiplying and claiming his return, 2 friends contacted him and offered to finance him in a new business venture. All the capital he needed was placed at his disposal. Sheldon came to my apartment and we talked over the situation. He said, "Although I have been in business in New York City for 40 years, actually, like Moses, I have been wandering in the wilderness. Never before have I known what I was doing." He insisted that he would not have any more downs in his life because he had learned the seed money formula and practiced it. He still gives, but now he multiplies and claims his tenfold return, and his new business is prospering mightily. Why is giving necessary? The farmer who wants a crop must give to the earth, must sow or plant the seed. Otherwise, he will harvest only weeds. When you were born, the first thing the doctor did was to hold you up by the heels and smack your little bottom. You gave out a squawk, and that started you breathing. Breathing itself is both a giving and a receiving. So is your very life. For discontinue either exhaling or inhaling, and you cannot live. When you want the lights on, you turn the switch, which closes or completes the circuit and starts the flow of current. The entire universe is a series of energy circuits. From the Earth and other planets, their orbits to the particles of the atom in their orbits. Shut the flow off anywhere along the line, and the result is nothingness. In James Stevens' classic, The Crock of Gold, the old philosopher observed, "You must be fit to give before you can be fit to receive." The plain and simple truth is that you must start giving before you can start receiving. This is the kind of universe we live in.